Now, in Chitradurga, in Karnataka, when its member of parliament, the member of parliament of that constituency, A. Narayanaswamy, decided to go visit a village in the Tumukuru district, his plan allegedly was to highlight the issues of the people there. But you know what happened to him? Instead, he was forced to turn back. He wasn't even allowed to enter. The MP, who belongs to the Madiga community, was allegedly shunned because he is a Dalit. This is his claim. He's claiming the worst kind of caste-based discrimination. And the fact of the matter is that this very constituency elected him as their parliamentarian. He can be an MP, but the caste barriers run so deep in our society that he can't enter a temple purely because of his caste identity. The administration has taken note of these reports of his claims. They are now carrying out an investigation into what really happened. But this is not the only case, viewers. In the last couple of months, multiple cases from across the country have emerged that again point to the fact that discrimination against the lower castes, against the Dalits, is still very, very widespread in our country. Now, everybody will say this is wrong, it's unacceptable. Then why is it that it still continues? And then it doesn't matter who you are, where you've reached in life, what your position is, if you're an Aam Aadmi or an influential person, at the end of the day, we as a country and a society still seem to be shutting our doors to those who we believe are not from our caste or from a lower strata. Horrific and unfortunate that this happens in our country in 2019. What can we do? How do we change this? That's the big question. Vamanacharya, spokesperson of Karnataka BJP, joins us this evening. Rahul Ishwar, author and an activist, and Martin Macwan, a Dalit Rights Activist, also with me. And Martin, let me start with you. Good evening. We've had a few conversations in the last couple of weeks because there have been so many stories that have been reported, not just from Karnataka, from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, up north in Uttar Pradesh. There is a story which is currently extremely, intensified in the state of Punjab. What's going on? Why is this still so widespread in 2019?
I think this case is a very serious matter. No need to say that. A 62-year-old man, three-time MLA, a minister in the state earlier, and now a member of parliament from the ruling party, the BJP. One natural question is, if this can happen to a member of parliament, we need not imagine what can happen to a common person in a village. What is more ashamed or what more embarrassing, the fact is that this has happened in the presence of the police force. Now, we may remember that a few months back or last year, the Supreme Court of India had put some guidelines in relation to the implementation of the SC/ST Atrocity Act. And one of the guidelines was every case must be investigated by an SP level officer. Now, here the SP himself has said that he has asked a police inspector to report. Now, we have seen this, the police is there, a lot of company officers were there. I had expected that somebody from the High Court, Supreme Court judge must have taken a suo motu notice of the whole thing. I would have definitely expected the Prime Minister would say a word on this, but nothing has happened. This only paints a very, very grim picture of the Dalit situation in 2019 today in the country, and more so when we are about to celebrate 150 years of Gandhi.
Absolutely. You know, let me point out a few more instances while we also fix the technical line with you, Martin, because we have a bit of a problem in getting through that line. But on August 26th, in Karnataka at Kadaga village in Hassan Taluk, upper caste people allegedly opposed the entry to members of a scheduled caste into a newly renovated Kaleshwara temple. On August 17, 2019, Dalits had to lower a dead body from a bridge as they were not allowed access to the riverbed from across the fields that were owned by the upper caste Hindus. This happened in Vellore in Tamil Nadu. On April 26 in Uttarakhand, a 23-year-old Dalit man succumbed to injuries days after he was allegedly beaten up by upper caste people for eating in front of them at a wedding reception. In May 2019, Biki Srinivas, a Dalit, was killed for allegedly plucking mangoes from an orchard belonging to an upper caste man. I can go on and on. I have 4 full pages of such instances just from this year itself. I guess the question that I'm asking Rahul Ishwar is that, how do we decode this? There are rules, there are laws in place. It's not a new law. Then why is it that as a society we are unable to break down these caste barriers?
It's a devil within. It's a demon within. And as a Brahmin and as a Hindu activist, I would like to touch the feet of Narayana Swami ji and ask for apologies. Our society should apologize to him collectively, and we should find solutions to such a problem. We have failed the father of nation, Mahatma Gandhi. We have failed the father of constitution, Baba Sahib Ambedkar. And it was Mahatma Gandhi's promise to Ambedkar that I will take the cause of Dalit brothers in as much as importance as freedom struggle. It is a situation of collective failure, like the earlier speaker rightly pointed out. If this can be a situation of MP, we can imagine a situation of ordinary Dalit. This is a time not to play politics, but beyond politics, we need to come together and we need a two-handed approach. On one hand, there is fairness. On the other hand, there is law and action. We need to have a two-handed approach. This is an evil within us for millenniums altogether. Yes, caste may be a reality, but casteism, the attitude, hierarchy, upper and lower, niche dikhana or meat, this kind of attitude should not be there. This is an issue with Rashtriya Sensex and BJP, Congress, the left parties, all can come together and try to fight. And this is an issue we should fight together rather than fight apart.
Okay. No, but so I completely agree with you. I'm not too sure of if there is a political angle to it. I think it's a society issue. But let's just also look at what the Union Minister Nitin Gadkari actually just recently said. And he says that when people fail to get tickets for elections on the basis of their work, they resort to playing the caste card. He didn't seem to be pointing at anybody in particular, but it's obviously very interesting because elections are coming up in a few states, and here is a sitting minister who says that people often use their caste cards to get tickets or when they are upset. Let's listen into that comment and then we'll go across to Mr. Vamanacharya.
जब लोग अपने कर्तृत्व पर टिकट मांगने के लिए हार जाते हैं तब जात का कार्ड आगे लाते हैं। जॉर्ज फर्नांडिस की कौन सी जात थी? कोई जात नहीं थी, तो क्रिश्चियन थे। इंदिरा गांधी की कोई जात करके थोड़ी आई। अभी गहलोत साहब राजस्थान के मुख्यमंत्री बने तो वो आपके जात के बराबर है, माली समाज के, पर उसके कारण नहीं बने। इतने सालों तक देश में इंदिरा जी ने राज किया, वो लोकप्रिय बनी, कोई महिला करके उनको पोस्ट मिली? मैंने तुरंत वसुंधरा राजे की तरफ बोला, ये राजे इसको कहाँ मिला? सुषमा स्वराज को कहाँ आरक्षण मिला? जो समाज में शोषित है, पीड़ित है, दलित है, सोशली इकोनॉमिकली एजुकेशनली बैकवर्ड है, उनको मिलना चाहिए। पर आरक्षण मिलने से समाज की पूरी प्रगति होगी, ऐसा अगर कोई समझ देगा तो ये सच्चाई नहीं है।
This is the other side of the debate, because there are many who also see reservation and, caste within politics as a reason for deepening caste divides within our society. Mr. Vamanacharya, do you agree that in many ways that's also further intensifying the caste divides?
No. One is, the reservation is not given as a favor to any community. Because they were denied of their rights in the society for hundreds of years, there was a need that reservation be given to particular section of the people. So today what is happening is, yes, I do agree what you said. Some of the people who feel that Dalits are getting more than what they deserve because of the reservation, which is not correct. Some people are unhappy. But this caste system and discrimination among castes is just not between upper and the lower caste alone. See, the community which opposed here is a Golla community, which is also a backward class community. These Gollas are in big number in Tumkur and Chitradurga districts, which are adjacent districts. Both of them reside there peacefully, happily. But sometimes what happens, Gollas also feel that because of the reservation, our dues that we should get in the society as a backward class, we are not getting. But Chitradurga, basically because of all these things, has remained a district which is not much progressed in the past. Now, our own MP there, that is BJP MP who was working, is basically from Anekal near Bangalore. He shifted there and got a ticket and got elected, but he was doing quite well there. He is not a man of discriminating between castes. What has happened today is a very unfortunate thing. I think people will forget this and again try to live happily in Karnataka, because Chitradurga district and that area is also known for its religious activity, and there are many pontiffs, swamis, especially Veerashaiv mutts in Chitradurga, who have fought against this in the past. It may not come by law alone. People should participate. Caste should become only as your cultural background. But as far as national development and the society is concerned, slowly
so how do you fix this, Mr. Acharya? So we all know it's wrong.
Work for a better society.
We all know it's wrong. We all know it shouldn't happen. We all agree that it's not just about the higher uppermost class and the lowermost class, but even between, at every level there is caste discrimination happening. It's become so bad that in Tamil Nadu in parts, at one point the children began to wear these bands around their wrists that reflected their caste identity, and people were divided on whether they were asserting their caste identity or whether they were being labeled for their caste identity so that they can be separated. That's how, deep this whole thing runs. How do you fix it is the point. Is it because we are not strict enough with our laws? Is it because when we find people indulging in such discrimination, we don't take action against them, which is why it continues?
I agree for both the things. One is we have to take a strict discriminate those who strict action. But proactive activities also should move on, like calling all the community people in one place, inviting all the people to a temple or a religious place wherever they want to go. And beyond that also, a society should grow basically beyond all these religious circles also. This is how a society has to progress itself to become a one united country here. If we are divided in so many small castes and pieces, you may not have heard these castes also that you hear in Karnataka or in any state. This is the case.
Well, to begin with, Mr. Acharya, if you agree with it, then maybe to begin with, political parties should stop giving tickets and should stop picking their candidates on the basis of their caste, on the basis of their regional background, because unfortunately that is still the biggest reality of our country. Tickets are given on that basis. MLAs and MPs are voted on that basis, and if we really need to break this down, then perhaps the change should also begin from there. Very quickly, Mr. Martin, what's your own sense? Is it because we are not tough enough on those who indulge in such horrific practices? What can the state do to bring the change?
Well, I would say that I don't agree with argument of Mr. Acharya. This is strictly a matter of law, and the biggest crime has been committed. It's a murder, it's a rape of a dignity of a member of parliament, not a common citizen. I mean, we try to suggest that probably this has happened because there is anger against the reservation. I refute that argument. I think as a society, as a system, as a country, we have failed to accept that it is this caste system which is weakening the nation, and it is the severest crime against the humanity. I would have definitely expected today the Prime Minister to come online and apologize for the whole nation. I don't see a situation in this village that happened anything apart from what is happening in Kashmir today. In Kashmir, it is only question of removal of Article 370. Here, the entire fundamental rights and the constitution has been removed and ashamed in the public. I have no words to condemn this. This is a member of the parliament, a 62-year-old man, a 3-time MLA, a minister of social justice, and he has been abused. He has been insulted in the presence of the police force.
Yes.
Last year, the Supreme Court passed some guidelines how to go about the cases of the Atrocity Act, and one of the recommendation was that every case under the Act must be investigated by the SP level officer.
Yes.
Here, the SP of the police says that he has asked the inspector of the police to report on the case. I would have expected the High Court judge and the Supreme Court judge to take a suo motu action on the whole matter, but nothing has happened.
Correct.
We can't go on making these apolitical statements. This is absolutely immoral, unethical. I am from Gujarat. We did the largest study of Gujarat. In 90% to 90.2% of villages, Dalits who are Hindus, they cannot enter the temples today. The RSS wanted to have a debate on the reservation, but they never wanted to have a debate whether we should have untouchability or no untouchability in this country.
Right.
And this is a shame on the ruling party, the BJP, that they can't protect the dignity of a member of the parliament. What are they going to do about the common people?
Okay, no, I take your point, but you know, the fact of the matter also is
in no way we can
that we have just gotten into this comfortable situation and scenario where we just believe that, oh, this happens around us all the time, and so perhaps the reaction of the entire system isn't what it should be. Now, yes, those who are in power today must speak up about it and must speak up as much as they can to send the message across. But it's actually those who have to implement the law who must take action. Perhaps that could be one way of bringing about a change. We can't have this attitude that this is what happens. People have these religious beliefs. People have these beliefs about their temples. You can't really take them on, so just let it be. Cover up or denial is not the response. Acknowledging that caste barriers and caste discrimination and discrimination against the lowest of the caste and the most underprivileged in our country still continue. But think about this for a second, viewers. He is a sitting MP of that constituency, in the constituency where people elected him to be their parliamentarian, to be their representative. They are not ready to allow him into the village temple. What does that say? Also about the mindset of our society, and that change needs to come from within. Completely out of time, I'm going to thank our panelists for joining us on this very important conversation. And now it's time for our daily economy tracker, where we get you the latest updates on the events that are happening related to our economy or could have an impact on our economy. And of course, the biggest global event right now is the drone attack that took place on Saudi Arabia's largest oil processing facility. And that has impacted Saudi Arabia's oil production by nearly half. The attacks have affected more than 6% of the world's daily oil supply. What does it mean for India? Well, the Petroleum Minister, Dharmendra Pradhan, assured that for now there will be no disruption in the crude oil supply to India. But that's just one part of the worry. The bigger concern is that if crude prices remain high for a long period of time, then it will mean an increase in the petrol and diesel prices. It will also mean an increase to India's import bill, which means more burden on the government and its expenditure. It will also mean an increase in very similar, different other products that you use, including your food. Because for all of this, there are transportation costs involved. So if the fuel prices go up, inflation will go up for you. For now, the director of Bharat Petroleum Corporation says that they are in a comfortable position with the price of oil going up till $70 per barrel. Beyond that, it will become a big concern. The MD of Hindustan Petroleum has also spoken out, and he says that the supply source is not a problem as there are alternate sources. This is the biggest concern for the entire world, for India, especially at a time when our economy is witnessing a slowdown. Meanwhile, Sensex has reacted to the uncertainty of oil prices, and at its lowest, Sensex fell over 700 points today to 36,419, while Nifty slumped below 10,800. At closing time, Sensex settled at about 36,481 points, roughly about 642 points down. So obviously, there are concerns even in our stock markets. Completely out of time on this edition of The Last Word. Thank you for joining us. Have a good night.